The Littlest Pumpkin. Bartlett's farm stand. It was Halloween, and there were 18 pumpkins left at Bartlett's farm stand. The pumpkins looked their very best because they all wanted to be taken home and made into jolly jack-o'-lanterns. The littlest pumpkin had the biggest dream of all. She saw herself shining in the dark with ghosts, monsters, witches, and fairies gathered around her, singing a Halloween song. And today was the day when all her dreams were to come true. Maggie dropped by the stand on her way to school, just as it opened. "I wanted the biggest pumpkin you have for my class party," she said, looking at the pumpkins on display. She didn't even glance at the littlest pumpkin. The pumpkin Maggie chose was so big that Mr. Bartlett had to help her put it in her mother's car. Later that morning, Mrs. Garland's class came to the farm stand to buy apples and pumpkins for their Halloween party. The littlest pumpkin was very excited when she saw all the children. "Now certainly I will be chosen by someone and made into a jack-o'-lantern," she thought. But no one chose the littlest pumpkin. The sun began to set, and only 4 pumpkins were left at the farm stand. One pumpkin had a bruise on its back. One pumpkin was lumpy and bumpy. And one pumpkin didn't have a stem. And the last pumpkin was the littlest pumpkin. The littlest pumpkin still had big dreams. She would be a beautiful jack-o'-lantern at Halloween party. She would shine in the dark with ghosts, monsters, witches, and fairies gathered around her singing a Halloween song. But while the littlest pumpkin was dreaming, Gabe and Monica arrived. They ran up to the 4 remaining pumpkins. Gabe grabbed the stemless one. "Perfect," he said. "My jack-o'-lantern is going to wear this hat." Mona picked up the littlest pumpkin. "Oh, how cute," she said. The littlest pumpkin was so happy. All her dreams were going to come true. "But it's too small for me to carve into a jack-o'-lantern," said Mona, putting it down. Then she picked up the lumpy, bumpy one instead. "Now this one is perfect." Soon it was dark, and the stars began to sparkle in the sky. Mr. Bartlett was cleaning up. "Oh, please don't close yet," thought the littlest pumpkin. "I must be a jack-o'-lantern for Halloween." Suddenly, Mr. Bartlett heard someone calling his name. "Mr. Bartlett! Mr. Bartlett!" It was Sam. "Please wait," said Sam. "I need a pumpkin for my party tonight." Mr. Bartlett picked up the bruised pumpkin and told Sam that if he turned it around it would make a very nice jack-o'-lantern. Sam agreed. And with that, Mr. Bartlett closed the farm stand. So there in the dark Halloween night sat the littlest pumpkin all alone. Or so she thought. For just when the littlest pumpkin was sure she was going to be spending Halloween night all alone in the empty farm stand, mice started scurrying around her. They were decorating everything, wearing tiny costumes and carrying all sorts of Halloween goodies. And before the littlest pumpkin knew what was happening, the littlest pumpkin was turned into a jack-o'-lantern. She was shining in the dark with ghosts, monsters, witches, and fairies gathering all around her singing Halloween songs. Happy Halloween!